Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Yes, donning the black tie, white shirt as we mourn yesterday's situation that saw us relegated effectively to League One. But before I've got a statement tonight, a message, but before I read that out, let's just say a quick hello to those that are on tonight. So Andy, Gavin and Carl, good evening to you all. Andy, yeah, do you know what? It was a tough one, the fact that it went to the lunchtime kickoff really to seal our fate. But yeah, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling relaxed now. I'm feeling glad that it's all done because if there's anything riding on that last game, we would have been biting our ankles, biting our elbows and stuff like that. I'm glad it's all over.
Yeah.
We had a chance. If Luton hadn't scored, then we had a chance, but I'm glad it's all over now. We can focus on next season.
Yeah, absolutely. Gavin, you were sort of accepting of it a bit earlier than most of us. I was sort of fairly relaxed going into this week. And to be fair, I said to you and Carl and that in the group, I felt that, I felt calm and relaxed yesterday. I think I just knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. We've been there for a few weeks. Everyone's clung on. I will say I was tempted to buy some shares in Unilever yesterday because the amount of bedwetting that was going on Twitter yesterday, I thought there's going to be a good job of sunshine for the next 7 days so they can get those sheets out on the line and the duvets. But fuck me, excuse my French, there's guys that missed the bed, haven't they? Jesus, it's coming. It's like a slow motion car crash. And then all of a sudden the impact's there and goes, oh, it actually happens. Accept it ages ago, guys. Come on. I thought the moon how we played. I thought we were excellent. Great running. I think we're 6th in the top 6 of the Form League. Not that we'll go there tonight. Brilliantly played. Well done, Miron. Well done, everybody. Take it to the penultimate game was exceptional. And a few people need to get over themselves and realise that we are where we are and we all move on.
Yeah, exactly. Carl, sort of a lot of negativity out there. I think raw emotions as it is after a game. So as Sophie decides to leave us as she enjoys watching these. But yeah, how are you feeling today?
A bit better now. It's kind of sunk in since yesterday. I mean, watching that game yesterday, when they went down to 10 men, which was a ridiculous decision. It was never a penalty, never a red card. Same ref that did the sent Joe Edwards off and gave a pen as well, so that's no surprising. And I did have a sneaky suspicion when when Luton lost a man, Coventry were getting back into the game, and I thought, hang on a minute, like Cav said, I think Coventry were going to go 1-0 here, and it just didn't happen. They got a really scrappy goal right at the end, which is a kick in the teeth, because I thought it was going to peter out to a 0-0, and they grabbed it and really deflated before the obviously kick off against Preston yesterday, and for the boys to go out and perform the way they did to get the win was amazing. I'm just so sad we couldn't take it into next weekend, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no, and look, evening to everybody that's joined us tonight. It's beautiful weather out there today. Actually, the perfect day to try and take your mind off it. I went up to Dartmoor with the family earlier on today, and just.
I thought you were at a funeral
as well. Say again, sorry.
I thought you went to a funeral.
Which
was it?
Come back late. Argyle's funeral. So I'm going to kick us off with my statement. I like to normally do an intro, and I thought long and hard about this one and tried to wrap up a number of things that have gone on this season and obviously views and stuff. So I shall start with that. But evening, Ninja Matt. He's in with us from the get-go, as good few of you are. So I'll get cracking. Anyway, good evening, good afternoon, good evening, Argyle faithful. We gather today in the shadow of the bitter truth. A late Luton goal against Coventry has all but sealed Plymouth Argyle's fate. League One awaits us for the 25-26 season. You'd expect this show to be a storm of frustration, finger pointing, and what ifs. And yeah, there might be some of that, but how could there not be? Relegation stings. It's raw, it's personal. But then we as the Block 9 always aim to give a clear observation, opinion, while still remaining professional at all times. So let's not shy away from this autopsy. You can point to Simon Hallett's decisions, many are, the board's priorities, many have and still do, or the gamble on Wayne Rooney that sparked the scepticism from day one. Maybe we held on to him for too long. Recruitment, was that part to blame? Players, could they have done better over the season? And yes, Marcus, if you're watching tonight, those infrastructure investments over squad depth, yeah, that one's just for you. The blame game's easy when you're in the stands, though, and not in the hot seat. Hindsight's brutal, and it's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But let's be real. No one sets out to make the wrong call. Not Hallett, not the board, not Rooney. Football's a gamble, and sometimes the dice doesn't roll your way. Yet, amid the wreckage, there's a beacon, Miron Muslik. So an unknown, untested, and yet a revelation. In 20 games, he's delivered 7 wins, 5 draws, and 8 losses. 1.3 points per game. And as Gavin alluded just now, even in recent half-dozen games, that would pit us right up there in the top half. So, this league is brutal, though. He's turned players like Pleggy, Sorinola, Poulsen, Zooks, Bondu, and Hardy into warriors, into players that have started to deliver. Their confidence so high. His signings, Katic and Maxi, have been game changers. Music style, grit and patience over glamour, but it's working. It's certainly started to show that. He's got the squad, he had and still has the squad believing, fighting, and clawing for every point. We've toppled giants, but stumbled against the minnows. That's what's cost us as well. Not heart, not effort, not certainly during Music's spell. We just weren't good enough over the whole season. Barring a miracle against Leeds, gunning for the championship crown, a goal fest from Bundu, Hardy or Tijani that would echo through home park history. But we're in League One bound, and that's the reality. But let's pause, take a breath. Remember how we got here in the first place. Simon Hallett, come to lots of criticism from a lot of people. Not on his own, though, but through the man who lifted us from the ashes with shrewd appointments and a vision. The season, a perfect storm of bad calls and bad luck, and a league where clubs have huge budgets. Unsustainable, you could argue, too. But they chew up clubs like ours. It hurts, but it's not the end. So here's the truth. We're down, but we're not out. Muslich staying, he believes, and so should you. Yes, some players might leave, that's football. But we'll rebuild, we'll fight, we'll rise again. Why? Because Hallett and the board, for all their flaws, have built a club that's rock solid. No more flirting with oblivion like the dark days of old. Those of us that remember the last time we fell out of the championship, and look what happened there. We nearly didn't end up having a club at all. So we're stronger than that now. League One isn't our destiny. It's our proving ground. So chin up, scarves on, voices loud. The Green Army marches on, and we'll be back together always. So I'm going to get rid of this black tie and white shirt now. So, Gavin, what do you say to that?
I'm still trying to get over the fact that you're going to flash us all. To be honest, I don't know whether I'm sort of aroused or completely what's the right word? Disgusted. Probably. It's a mixture of the two, which is kind of strange. How do I feel? I think you sent that to me before. I think that pretty much sums up perfectly where we are. As a season, it's been coming in it. Unfortunately, I think one of the things that I didn't quite realise, and I don't know why I didn't, because he's a heart on sleeve guy, but how hard Miron took things yesterday. His voice was crackling, wasn't it, in the presser? I know that Errington has written some column inches on that since. And to see Joe Edwards in tears on the pitch after the game doesn't always fill your heart with joy at all. A real stalwart and a proper leader of our club for a long time. It's one of those, isn't it? I've kind of gone through my stages of grief, and I'm out the other side now. I'm ready to go and put some fresh flowers on the grave on the year anniversary. But I know there are a lot of people that sort of saw that last heartbeat and then had a complete meltdown. So I think everybody's going to be in a varying state of grief, aren't they, that's connected with the club. There are people in my camp that have probably been there for some time. And there are people that have believed to the end and then had their legs swiped away with a very cruel and very unjust result with Luton against who were they playing? I can't remember.
Coventry.
There we go. Yeah, Coventry. That's how much I was paying attention to that. I thought yesterday's performance was outstanding. Just to reiterate from my earlier, probably our most complete away performance of probably this and last season, if I'll be honest. I thought we were exceptional all around the pitch.
Yeah.
I have to say, and probably you'll be echoed by a lot of the members of the team, for those boys to know 20 minutes before kickoff that it's done, and that's the biggest kick in the plums, I think, for any professional sportsman, for them to pick themselves up and go out on that pitch and perform the way they did, although having read some column inches this morning, hats off, literally, to every single one of the 2,000 that were up there, because they seem to be single-handedly responsible for a lot of that performance because of the way that they were applauded before kickoff and when everyone knew what boat we were in. So, yeah, am I upset? Not really. I think it's going to be a blessing in disguise to go down. Probably one of the few that will say that. I think we've got a good club. I think we've got good ownership, despite what everyone else thinks. I think we probably will have a couple leave over the summer, but we'll have some good budget to replace. And I'm looking forward to next year already. So bring out the June the 20, whatever it is, fixtures, and we'll go again.
Yeah, absolutely. Andy, I'll come over to you. I think, listening to the post-match report written by, I think, Gavin, you pointed out his name, but Nicol, have I got that right? I can't remember his full name.
Rob McNichol.
Sorry?
Rob McNichol. Yeah, he's the head of press for the club.
Yeah, so that was, thank you. So that was a really well drafted report, and even he said he went down and was caught up in the emotion of the players after doing their warm up, going over to the Green Army, to applaud them, and like Gavin said, Andy, it's tough on the post matches. You can see that raw emotion. The question that should Errington have asked or not. I mean, he's doing his job, but it's not the right time for it. But that was a tough one, but they went out and put on probably one of the best first halves we've seen all season.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought they were outstanding yesterday to a man, every one of them. We haven't seen that fight for a long, long time, and since Mužlić has been here, we've seen more of that fight. We've seen more of that desire to go and win games. We've been unfortunate at a couple of games. Middlesbrough away was one of them, when that guy sort of went down like a sack of spuds in the box. Callum Wright's goal that should have stood up at Luton.
Since 2023, as well.
It's just
he scored yesterday.
But it's like what I like about it is when I see Mužlić visibly upset. This is going to sound really weird. When I see Mužlić and Edwards visibly upset, and Edwards in tears, what does it say to me? It means that they blooming care about the club, and they do care about the club. Like us fans, us fans are sort of going through the motions differently to them. They're seeing it on the pitch, we're seeing it off the pitch. But when you see people like Joe Edwards, who really cares about the club, going for it and showing his emotion on the pitch like that, it puts you in good stead, because those guys are going to be dedicated to the cause no matter what. Win or lose, and that's what our fan base should be like. Win or lose, we should be there for them all the time.
Yeah, it's Herbie, who has joined us recently on the show, was here Thursday night in our live lounge, couldn't make tonight. He was up there with the 2,000 fans, and there's a lot of people, even Harvey, sort of who can, where he can, sometimes joins us in, and he's going to every away game. He's putting out his YouTube content as well. There's a huge investment, huge commitment, from everybody that does that. Whether you go to one game, a couple of games away, which I had the fortune of doing with Gavin, maybe not so fortunate for him, but having me touring along. But it's, that's a lot of effort and just fantastic. So to go out there, deliver a great first half, Andy. The second half, we were under the cosh a bit. Yeah. Preston really were also fighting to try and keep their hopes alive or stay up, and they're now on the brink as well, aren't they? Involved in it all.
Yeah, they're struggling. They haven't won a game for a long time now, Preston, and they are struggling, especially at home. They cannot seem to buy a win anywhere, and they're being sucked right back into it.
I think I had one win in 13. I think I heard.
It's ridiculous.
Evening, Steve, by the way, who's was just coming back from work. So, Carl, just sort of jumping over to you now. Look, we have, if whether you can talk about, and obviously we do in the group, the form table since Music's joined, I think pits us around 12th. The last 6 games, like Gavin said, pits us right up there. It's clear that there's Music has needed some time on the training ground. We said that when he joined, it was back-to-back games. It was absolutely crazy, and because of the FA Cup. But he managed to then settle a few things down when he had some time in that international break. And I think that when you talk about the decisions that Hallett or the board have made, you then look at the Music one and you say, yeah, okay, it might have been a little bit too late to appoint him. We should have got rid of Rooney earlier. It's all hindsight, and we're not involved in the detail to know why. But that's got to be a positive thing going forward, isn't it? Assuming he doesn't go, the questions come up, but we're firm believers that he won't go and will stay.
Of course, it's not all. It can't be all negatives towards Simon and Parkinson. Obviously, they got the Ian Foster one wrong. They got Rooney wrong back to back. Wasn't a great look, but they've got it spot on with Music, so they deserve credit for that appointment. It's just a shame it didn't happen 4 or 5 weeks before we appointed him, because I think if we had him for an extra few games, he would have been absolutely fine, absolutely safe weeks ago, like he said in his presser before. Was it Borough? It's just a shame that it's kind of petered out and we're bowing out, but at least we've done it fighting. We've done it a lot later than I thought we would have gone down. So at least we took it to almost the end of the season. It's just bittersweet knowing that he kept saying we were going to do it. He believed we were going to do it, and we've just fallen short kind of at the last hurdle. But we've got a lot of positives going into next season. If we can keep our key players, I hope Hardy and Bundu stay. Same with Hazard. Obviously, there's going to be offers coming in for our key players. We accept that, but if we can keep Music and our key players, I think we've got a strong chance next season.
Well, it's as this mug of mine has on it. It has Maxi Talavirov with his goal celebration at Luton. But you'd like to think that there could be a lot of sort of honest conversations, to talk players. Like Maxi, obviously we signed him, so there'd be a breakout clause. But again, financially, that would benefit the club if someone did come in for him, and you could understand why. Katic, obviously on loan, real shame. You could see the pain in the photographs at the end, and obviously he, got a few knocks. Looks like his hip was a problem in the game yesterday. And it's like if we can sort of keep any of those sort of players, like you mentioned as well. And this investment, which we still don't know what might happen, but that could be pivotal to it. The whole project, the presentation that, Hallett and the board gave Miron, for Miron to persevere with the likes of Katic, sell him the plan and what we're looking to do, and he's been an absolute stalwart. So you can, like, if I bring up Pilgrim Petey's comment, evening, Petey. Good to see you in. Like I said in an earlier tweet, for an owner and the board that is so data-driven, when it comes to player signings, they didn't do the same when it came to appointments of Foster and Rooney. And yeah, look, I can get that. Data should always help your decision, Carl, not be your overriding decision. But, it's a balance, isn't it? You're not going to get every decision perfect. And even with player signings, we've had a good fair share recently of good and also bad.
We've had more goods than bad signings. I think that's the same at any football club. Some work, some don't, and I still believe the ones we think that don't. Obviously, Beidou and Al Hajj hopefully will be here next season. I think they will be, and I think they'll be stronger for that. Decent pre-seasons behind them under Music, and I'm sure we'll see the best of them next season. But yeah, there's going to be a few players that don't work, and obviously, again, Jimmy's come in for a lot of stick again with certain signings, but that's football, that's life. Some don't work out and some do. So yeah, lessons will be learned on some things, I'm sure, about players signing from Scandinavia in January. Obviously, that's not going to be ideal and something that he won't do in the future. And it'd be interesting to see who comes in to replace Jimmy when he departs.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And finally, Steve. Yeah, just give us your sort of. You were obviously out at an event yesterday, but it must have been a bit frustrating because obviously you had a busy day. You're trying to keep an eye on the score, and then obviously the lunchtime result. I did watch it, and it was just a mad game that, and the last sort of 10 minutes with suddenly, a Luton player getting sent off for an absolutely silly thing, not even involved in the original challenge, and you think, oh, it's 10 men each now, and then Coventry suddenly had a bit of a spurt, but then all of a sudden, for the last 5 minutes, Luton just went for it. And fair play. Yes, we can try and hunt down the defender and the goalie for their bad decisions, allowing that goal to go in. But they fought for it. In the last 3 games, they've had 3 wins on the bounce.
They deserve it. Yeah, they fully deserve it, and they kept from what I heard. Luton kept pressing, and because they knew they had to go on a run to have any chance of survival. But the sending offs in that game, it didn't look like a red for the Coventry player.
No, it was a bit. I mean, it was on that goal scored, and you felt it was. I mean, he cut behind him. He got caught out by the player getting ahead of him, but you sort of felt, yellow card, free kick. It was a bit of a soft one, but then refereeing decisions have been.
But he tripped over his own legs. So it wasn't even a foul.
Oh, was it not?
No.
I thought when I saw the replay, he did get clipped. Oh, is that the case now? But
There's been
referee
so many like that
can't
this season,
see that.
isn't there?
Yeah, and those sort of situations, the refs can't see that. And, again, some of it, the officiating has been poor, but unless you've ever refereed and trying to watch the game at pitch side, I always find quite weird and strange anyway, because I'm so used to watching it up high in the Block 9 that, you can see it a lot more. And then you've got obviously replays, but we won't dwell on referees. Just to pull up the match stats as we like to do. So actually, before I just do that, I'm going to go to the table, because this, Gavin, is very tasty for those that still have a chance of going down. Obviously, as a result of Derby beating Hull yesterday and the other results, Hull now find themselves in that final 22nd position. And you could say, really, they went on a bit of a run of form when we should have done. And I thought, they're going to be safe now. Find themselves right back in it.
I'd like that bottom 3, because I think Cardiff are in a mess on and off the field. Everyone's calling, again, it's quite funny, isn't it? Tan's head, who's obviously taken to the Premier League in the past, they want him to go. Hull's finances look pretty fragile. They're going to take at least a 10, maybe £11 million hike in revenue next year. So they could literally sort of crumble like a sandcastle at high tide financially, which could be very interesting. Luton are going to parachute. Preston, I wouldn't mind coming down either. I think they've got their own challenges. Derby have been there, seen it, done it, and I wouldn't like to. I hope they stay up, because I think they'd be a bigger threat to us moving forward. But yeah, I mean, the last day, it's going to be carnage, isn't it? I mean, we're going to be on the beach, metaphorically, trying to piss on Leeds parade. But there's going to be some real nervous fans in that bottom 5. Are they all? Is it 1 point between five places?
It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's nuts. I tell you what, though, Gavin, you do have to give due where it's credit where it's due. And Oxford, who had a bit of a ropey start, Portsmouth equally, and they are both who came up last season and have managed to get to the magic 52 to stay in the league as well.
On that form there, if it stays that way, all 3 teams that come up will stay up.
Yeah.
I've got a sneaky suspicion that it'll be Preston that will join us. They've got Bristol City. Bristol City need to win to gain playoffs as well. I think
Preston have got the worst form.
I think it's Preston's year. Their form's atrocious.
Preston have got to go to Bristol City.
Sorry?
Preston have got to go to Bristol City, did you say?
Yeah, they're playing
They're
Bristol
not
City.
helping Housedown for they getting a point out of that.
And I think it served them right for sacking Ryan Lowe, because I thought he was doing an okay job.
It just goes to show, doesn't it, how all sorts of things I think were going on in the background there, and we can moan and sort of people can hate the Simon Hallett, wish him out the club and sell it tomorrow or sell it now as some comment, but you could find yourself in a worse situation, and yes, we could also find ourselves in a better situation, but there is no one that's keen to come and buy Argyle in the sense of other than what Simon has been working hard to try and find, which could come off. But yeah, Gavin, it's madness when you look at this league, how brilliant a league it is. So I'm gutted to leave it because of that. But you've got a good few teams there, and even Stoke wouldn't surprise me because I think they're long overdue a bit of a wake up call going down.
Yeah, there's two clubs there that I think are pretty shambolic in the way they've been run in recent times. Hull for letting Leroy Senior go because they didn't make the playoffs. That went well since, hasn't it? I mean, he must be laughing into his croissant and espresso wherever he is in the continent at the minute, thinking to himself, "What the hell has happened since I've left?" And Stoke are probably near on the biggest basket case in the division. I'm going to get some pellets.
The league, I imagine.
Norwich haven't covered themselves in glory in recent times. Oh, that's been a bit of a revolving table, hasn't it? And
also right down there with Preston on current form. Yeah.
So look, I think it's going to be nice to be able to watch this from the stalls on Saturday, trying to compete with a very motivated Leeds side, but it doesn't really matter either way. Who knows who's going to follow through the trap? What I would love actually if we finish 22nd. I think that would be justice. Not that it makes a jot of difference that you're all down, but it'll be there'll be 5, 6 sides there that are all going to be, in the old days with the transistor radio up there here in the terrace, looking for the results of the other teams.
It could still come down to us getting relegated on goal difference as well, which could be heartbreaking.
Yeah, and well, Carl, and also not forgetting, I just want to read out Pete's comment as well. Just imagine Lewis Gibson going down with Preston. That would be quite funny. But a quality player. I don't know how he's done overall there, but don't forget we can still have a decisive influence on who actually gets crowned league champions, and I think the players are going to want to go out there and absolutely give it their all for the final game. And Leeds are not going to be looking. I think it's Millwall that Burnley have got. Excuse me, but we obviously play. Leeds have got us, and I think they will be nervous of that. Carl, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, bang on. And obviously Millwall are going for the playoffs as well themselves, so I don't think Burnley are going to have an easy game either.
Yeah, let me just scroll up the table there a second.
Just a little bit. So wouldn't it be great to see Millwall and Bristol City both in the playoffs? I think potentially if one of those can go through up into the Premier League, City or Millwall, I think that'd be quite entertaining. I think especially Millwall for all the hateful reasons of the fan base and history and stuff. I'd love to see that happen. But I can see us going out with a bang and getting another win. And like I said, going down on goal difference. I don't think Leeds are going to come here and steamroll us. I don't think Mirren would let that happen after recent results. It's going to be an emotional day because if they do beat us, they're going to have the tunes played out. We're the champions, and no doubt they'll try and pitch invade as well, like Newcastle did.
There's another 50 grand fine. Yeah.
It's going to be a weird one.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at that, look at Sunderland. You gotta be thankful as a Sunderland fan that your points tally is massive because look at that, like drawn, lost. So lost. So that's pretty bad. You can see. I mean, to be fair, look at there's a lot of red, especially in these zones here. Watford and Norwich have had howlers. So who's that down there? Yeah, Preston's form as we just mentioned. So. It's certainly this league never gets dull and boring, does it? That's for sure.
If you look at the bottom, right, there's 3 wins there in amongst those last 5 games. And that
it'd be good. It'd be good to end on a 3-1. Gavin, were you trying to say something then?
Sorry, Gav.
No, that's all right.
It was me actually.
It's just it's really interesting. The form guide. You're looking at sides that were very capable that blew us away earlier in the year. Who now couldn't win a raffle if they bought all the tickets.
There you go, last 5 games.
So look, if you look down the table, it's just interesting for me. Watford beat us convincingly. If you scroll down to the bottom end of that form guide, Sunderland we managed to get some points off. Preston a win and a draw, that's fine. Norwich walloped us 6-1 away.
Yeah, God, yeah.
And we managed to beat them here. Watford beat us twice. Cardiff thumped us 4-0, and obviously have gone down. West Brom, I think, beat us away up there. So there's some really good sides there that we, in the Rooney era, we got absolutely our pants pulled down and our backside smacked. Who now couldn't win a game if they tried.
Yeah, absolutely. And look where we are in those last 5 games, showing in 8th position. I mean, look at the consistency of Leeds and Burnley. It says it all, doesn't it? Blackburn, who have had a fantastic run in these last 5 games as well. Swansea done superb. Obviously beat us as well in that. So yeah, it's incredible when you look at those last 5 matches. Who's consistently up there and who's got up there. So yeah, go on, Steve. What was your point? Sorry, mate.
Sorry, just one thing before I crack on, before I forget about it. I forget it was already. Momentum's a big thing, right? Now, if you look at Luton, again, battered every single game last year in the Prem, heads down. I think I've said this many times on the pod already. I think the losing mentality of that squad was horrific, and I think that's where they are today.
Yeah.
If you look at Rotherham, they're sitting, I think, 16th in League One. Right, not much has changed in that club other than the fact that most of their squad have got a losing mentality. That run-in for us, where we've beaten some bloody good sides, Sheffield United and is only going to help us, I think, when we go down, to give us a real bounce and some real momentum the other way. Because often when you go down as a club, you've had your ass kicked for week after week after week. When you are relegated, then you go, oh, never mind, we're done anyway. And then you get back to pre-season after 6 weeks off or whatever it is, and all of a sudden, here we go again, and you try and get yourself up. 1 or 2 things go your way early, and all of a sudden, all those bad dark clouds keep filling your head again.
Yeah,
you're in nothing. With what Miron's done and what the squad in particular have done in transforming their fortunes, that's only going to carry into, I think, a really positive pre-season and an early season in League One. That's what I was going to say. I'll shut up now.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's all good. Go on then, Steve.
Do you remember a few weeks ago we said about where we had to play Sheffield United, Norwich, and all that? We said because the teams come at us, it suits us. And then we've just picked them off, haven't we?
Yeah, we sort of, it's that 70-30 possession or not having possession sort of way that he plays, isn't it? And when you've got teams that do want to come at you, it creates those opportunities a bit more, doesn't it? We probably should have had. We all question this plan B. I know, and I did say it on Thursday's live lounge. Miron, when he made that comment in the press, so I get he's confident. He's got a high sort of, well, I'd say level of ego, but he's definitely confident in himself. But to say, if I'd have been here a few games earlier, we would have stayed up. That is right. But there was also important games, and I have to point it out, where he didn't get decisions right. That probably cost us as well. So it's all swings and roundabouts, but it certainly just bodes well, for looking forward, Steve, doesn't it?
Definitely. Also, the top 10 that we played at home, we've only lost to Burnley.
Yeah, and that was that embarrassing scoreline as well, wasn't it? Just wasn't that after
the third game in
Litch joined us? Yeah,
that was the third game in, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well,
some guy didn't turn up for work and then he disappeared. I don't know. I can't remember.
What was his name again? Yeah. What was his
name again?
That
was that game. Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, the Tuesday night, wasn't it? Or Wednesday night. So yeah, I mean, Music had a tough start, didn't he? Coming in, I think sort of as when I was composing my earlier statement, it was very much a case of he was a gamble, Steve, wasn't he? I mean, sort of an unknown, like I said, and everybody was rightly so panicking a little bit. The obvious one that everybody, I think even most of us on here would have said, yes, Schumacher would have been the sort of easy or obvious choice. He's not doing so. I don't know how he did yesterday.
But could he have got us out of this mess, though?
Well, we won't know, will we?
I don't think so.
No, we won't know
either.
It's different when you know the club and you know the players. So I think in certain games, in those first few, I think he might have got more points out of that, I think, in fairness. But, I just look at, as we discussed in recent shows, what we've got to look forward to, what we've seen, coming from Miron. And, and as we, sort of discussed, his points per game, where we would be in the last, sort of 5 matches, looking at FOTMOB just now, or since he's joined us, that's positive, Andy, isn't it? And that's really good to look forward to.
Yeah, that is positive. And you got to look at, Muslic, what he's actually achieved with the club in the short spell he's been here. He's got us more wins under his belt than Schumacher did. I think the data was showing that he had a higher win ratio than Schumacher, certainly more than Rooney. And look at Rooney start the season. Yes, the football was great, tippy tappy along the back and up the lines. But when you've got someone like Connor Hazard, who was not very confident in playing it out from the back, then you're going to lose more games. And this is what happened.
There's the chart. There's the actual FOTMob coach win percentage.
Yeah.
So you can see 1.3, 35 points in those games. Obviously, Schumacher and Lowe with those successful seasons are right up there, of course. But yeah, that's positive, Andy, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Muslic is thought, all right, it's a different style of football. It's more direct. There are mistakes made at the back, but ironed out as we see it. I thought they played it really well yesterday. Some nice football all over the pitch, and won the game. So yeah, he's brought something good to the club, and I think if we just give him time and patience, and have patience as fans, then he'll get it right on the pitch as well, with the more direct football and more goals. I mean, Gav's highlighted a while back, get that ball into that danger zone, that red zone, and the ball is in the back of the net, and this is what happened. It's happened recently, isn't it?
And not forgetting your boy Callum scored.
And Callum Wright scored, with his curtains.
After 2 years.
Since
he finally got to the lady's front door. And she said, "Want to come in for coffee?" And he went, "Do you know what? I could do with a caffeine fix." And he sat on the sofa nicely, and she jumped on his ding dong, and there we go. And he's consummated a relationship. Well done, Callum. Best owner in the business has now got up to war plate. Well done, lad. Good lad.
Yeah. Well, Carl, just carrying on from goal scorers, but just before I do, just a couple of messages. Ninja Matt, we're not just beating these promotion chasing clubs by fluke. We are good for the wins. Now imagine that with Miron handpicking his own players. Graham, good evening, Graham. Good to see you in as well. As mentioned, Sissoko, that must be in one of the matches that we were referring to. But if we think of the goal scorers, obviously the goal that took us 1-0 up, brilliant bit of work play, great pass by Mumba into the box, and what an effort, or what a shot even, I should say, from Bundu.
I have to say, rewind the clock back another 10 seconds. The Plymouth Pirlo is found a pass out of nothing from a periphery to play Bally in, which is incredible vision, because he had half the pitch to deal with, but in a split second, he put that ball right in his path, and it was a great finish. But without Randall's vision there, and he's had some kick-ins this year, hasn't he, from various sources, thought that was an outstanding bit of play, and our midfield was very good again.
Yeah, it was good overall, and Bundu to get on the score sheet again. So those that are eagle-eyed or already know, I was asking Andy this while we're in the lobby earlier. I'll go to Steve. I'll start left to right. Who are our top 3 goal scorers, Steve?
You got Hardy, Bundu, and is it Sissoko and Whitaker?
Oh, okay. Gavin?
Hardy's got 12, I think, in all competitions.
Just championship I'm focused on here.
Oh, just so Hardy's got 10, maybe 11 in the league. Bundu has 9. And third will...
I'll find it.
Be...
You don't need to find out.
I think I know.
For fuck's sake. Third...
Pick a random, the most random.
I'm going to say Andre Gray.
Damn it. I was going to say that.
Yeah. So it is that. If I just bring it up, it was quite interesting to listen to, and Graham obviously pits us open in the comments for something else there. But yes, look at that, Bundu and Hardy up there with 10. Obviously, Bundu with no penalties, which is why he edges it into first spot. This is championship season only. Andre Gray in there with 3. Ibrahim Sissoko with 3. Now
that's mental, isn't it?
We were all, Carl, buzzing for him, just as you say, mental there. And we thought, it looks like he's got some ability. He had a couple of brilliant games, and then obviously picked up the injury. But he's done nothing since going to Wednesday, is he?
Absolutely nothing. And I don't even know what Andre Gray's done since he's gone. Was it to Turkey or somewhere?
So I don't know how. Set of teeth now, big set of dreadlocks.
Has he?
and his winky's 3 inches longer than it was when he went out.
Perfect white teeth as well.
Yeah, lovely set of teeth, big set of hair, and the 3 inches on his winky.
That's one for Steve to look at. See how many goals he's scored, how many appearances he's done.
I was telling Voodoo, who's in with us as well tonight, when he put his little season review video together, which was fantastic. And I said, "Oh, look, can we use that on the show on Sunday?" And I said, "I'm going to have to take it for edit it just to bleep out some of the swear words because there's some strong ones in it." Because I said this is a family show, clearly not with Gavin on. But yeah, look, I mean, you've got. Sorry.
I said we're on the terraces. It's not a family show. I'll go at 3 o'clock, is it?
That's why.
And you sat next to me more than once, and you've got a potty mouth too, Michael.
Well, that's the passion, the raw emotion.
You all know.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, look, Sissoko, Whittaker, Al Haj on 3. It's incredible to think, that you've got Bundu and Hardy set up there, and that just, again, it's another story though, Andy, isn't it, of our season where Hardy wasn't really in favour, Bundu was certainly not in favour, if I recall correctly, and they're players that have just really come on out of the two. For me, Bundu tops it in terms of the player that's improved the most in Music's tenure, because his confidence and that goal on Saturday, yesterday, the finish, to hit it like that was just brilliant.
Yeah, it was a great strike, but as Gav said, the ball to him from Mumba was excellent. The play before that was brilliant, but yeah, it's difficult to choose between the both of them, isn't it? Because Hardy Hardy was out most of the season as well. He's had a lot of injury. He wasn't in favour. He comes back for a few games at the end and scores 10 goals. So can't ask for much more from him, can you?
No, and there's an argument to say they're fighting for the survival, but also it unfortunately for us in some ways potentially pits them in the shop window as well when you're scoring goals and the confidence is high.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and if Bundy's got any loyalty, which I think he has, you want to stay with us next season because we've given him a chance. We brought him in this season. He's had a good chance in the Championship at a decent level, one of the best leagues in the world. And he scored 10 goals. So, yeah.
Yeah. And he's also, this is top for assists. So Bundu is up there with 6, Randall with 3, Hardy with 3, Mumba with 2, etc. So yeah, Bundu certainly turned it on, hasn't he? So so I think Callum Wright, as we touched upon just now, he's one of those that under Foster was almost pushed out, similar to Edwards. I remember Soranola walking around with Wright's shirt at the end of that game in Foster's last match. And I still think he's a young lad. I still think there is a lot of potential there with Callum Wright, but yeah, his final third is where it sort of lacked. And as I incorrectly put on one of my posts yesterday, it was the Luton game. Someone did correct me, I forget who it was now, where he should have really had that goal as well, and how decisive that could have been. So yeah, look, there's lots of players here, which sort of leads me on to our discussion on Thursday on the live lounge about who we choose for our own player of the season. So for those of you that are watching, what we're going to do, so we will have our final live lounge, so to speak, of this season this Thursday. That kicks off at 8:45. We'll do it a bit later to sort of accommodate kids, etc., being in bed. And we just, again, we'll preview the Leeds game. We'll talk a little bit more about stuff. But then post Leeds, and come the end of the season. So it will be, this is our 50th episode today, I think, if I've got that right, which is mad. We've absolutely loved what we've done. It's gone a lot bigger and better than we thought it would do. You think of a lot of ideas. Doing this is not easy, but we're sort of deciding what do we do for the final show of the football season in that sense. So with it being the bank holiday next weekend as well, and everybody's going to be out on the Raz usually on Sunday, we will do it on Monday, and we're probably going to do it around 7 o'clock. So just putting that out there now to plan around that. And we are going to do our own awards, of which we will give several. Obviously, there'll be a player of the season, but we're going to come up with a number after that, because there's been so many standouts, I suppose, over the season. So Gavin put a poll out initially for earlier on today for what we sort of put as our top 8. You can only do 4 in one poll on X, so he had to post 2 messages for that. And we've started off with Hazard, Mumba, Pleguezuelo, Randall, and in the second list, Hardy, Bundu, Soranola, and we went with in the end Zooks, who's also been brilliant since joining the club. So as it stands at the moment,
Ben Wayne is winning.
Yeah, Ben Wayne. Yeah. Oh well, we'll come on to PAFC's comment if he's in tonight after tagging us. But yeah, currently at the moment it stands with Pleguezuelo on 75% of the votes. There have been, it's only a small 32 because someone forgot to put the hashtags. Excuse me. But please go in and vote and retweet it. But yeah, effectively Pleggy on 75. We've then got Hardy on 41, Bundu on 37, Soranola then on 20, and the one that's really surprised me, because for me he's up there with Pleggy, is Hazard on 12.5%, and then you've got Sooks at the moment on 0, Randall on 6.3. So Gavin, as the man who put the post out for us, what do you think? Are we not surprised really with Pleggy, are we?
Hashtag Pleggy, hashtag Hazard, hashtag PAFC, hashtag UTBA. I'll just say them instead of posting them. It's all good. Sorry, I have to be facetious, don't I? I'm surprised at Hazard. I have to say, I think Hazard's been our standout consistent performer for the 24 games he's had. And it's been a bit chalk and cheese with him and Grimshaw, isn't it? I hope he's daddy watching. I'll be getting press again and death threats through my door. But there we are, it is what it is. But yeah, I would have expected Hazard to be more. I'd also expected Mumba to be more, actually, to be fair.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
But I think, people are, I said this on Thursday, player of the season's always a bit like going out for dinner, isn't it? You remember an outstanding cheese board and pudding, but you don't remember the crap starter that you were fed at the beginning because it's done and dusted. And I think a lot of people are remembering the last few weeks where Hardy and Bundu, Saranola and Pleggy have been outstanding, and they're the 4 that are leading it at the moment that we're going to have to, well, the sound way, if it carries on this way, have to do a deep dive on for our award ceremony.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're, firming up some of the agenda, but we will like to sort of pick the top 3 and do a little piece on them. We like doing our little presentations in our live lounge. If you haven't joined us for those, where we, plan to do a lot more content, coming into the new season in League One, as we can obviously now know where we're going to be. So yeah,
have we got a special dress code for our awards evening?
Like
black suits like you had on at the start
like
of
my
the show.
morning black tie at the start of this show. No, of course, you just relax, isn't it? Be whatever. Bring a beverage, whether it's a beer, a cider, or a soda pop. We don't condone drinking, of course. Drink responsibly, as they say. But yeah, look, we'll have a bit of fun on the show, and reminisce as well. Talk a little bit more about the season and the key moments in it. Because tonight, really, we're very conscious of the fact that it's a tough one to still take, even if you were resigned to it before. So we said, look, we will touch up on some of these points, and we've also got players out of contract and all that sort of stuff. So it will probably go on for more than an hour and a half, which we normally tend to muster on these shows. So look forward to that. But yeah, for me, I think Pleggy is, he came off actually, didn't he, with a bit of a thigh or groin issue. Yeah. Anything more on that? Has anything been said?
I'm surprised you didn't dash to his side to give him a rub down, mate. I'll be honest.
Well, I mean, these mugs can make good little tools for getting.
Come on, Pleggy. I'm here for you, rubby rub.
Anyway, if you're watching Pleggy or Georgia, good evening to you. Don't listen to him. Go on, Andy.
That's all right. I don't think it's fit for this
You've
show,
lost.
really.
You've lost it now. Well, no surprise. We will, and yes, as the guys rid me, and I have promised to sort out a mug for Pleggy. I sort of said what we're going to do is we will do a mug for our player of the season. A block 9, as you can see. This is my Maxi Talavirov one, but there you can go with the logo, and we'll pit player of the season. And I might do a little bit of an artwork to go with that one. We may give out more than one, and then we can get those to the players as a nice little gesture. So yeah, lots to come on that. So we are planning to do that next Monday at 7 p.m. So get that in your diaries, and yes, it will be a lot of fun. Accidental Pilgrim, good to see you in tonight. Just asked about who we think will be joining us, and I just replied in the notes in the comments saying, yeah, we think Preston is the one that's probably going to come down with us. What else have we got here? Ninja Matt again. It's easy for me. Pleggy has been amazing, and he's shown us. Hang on, private message dropping up. True loyalty, that goes a long way for me. Yeah, absolutely. And let me just remove that. As Accidental Pilgrim has said, Julio is Coolio. So he's definitely living in that gangster's paradise in his defensive position this season. Sorry. That's why you pay me the big bucks, you see. So, right, let me just look at my notes just to go through. Yeah, I mean, CD PAFC's post. So we'll end on a bit of I'm sure it was a joke, his post. But no, it was probably serious from his point of view. But he was in with us on the live lounge on Thursday. But he tagged us and said, Ben Waine, effectively, could he be a player that could come back and do a job? Something along those lines without me looking up the post. And he picked 3 answers, I think, like yes, 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 and definitely yes, or something like that. But I did reply from the account. There was a lot of negative ones. And yes, for me, if you cannot get in to the Mansfield side when you've joined a championship club with a lot of promise, then for me, and I mean it respectfully, move on. Don't waste your time and money where we could better invest that elsewhere. It could be a longer term prospect, but I think the fact that he's not done it at Mansfield, Gavin, that's a tough one, isn't it, for the lad?
Yeah, I'm gonna message Yates later because I wished him well yesterday for Truro's promotion.
Yeah, well done to them.
Yeah, well done to Truro. Cornwall will be proud. I think from the response I got from Stuart last night, there might have been a couple of shandies involved from their celebrations. But I honestly think he's got to go and do what the man who's doing it for them now, who was at Argyle once. He's got to go down a few leagues and score some goals because Mansfield have dropped like a stone, haven't they? From being in and around the promotion spots to I think they only confirmed their safety on Saturday, and he's barely got a kick all year. I think he's scored 2 goals, and he's had a handful of appearances, and his minutes have been shocking. So I think he needs to drop down. It's either League 2 or sorry,
2 starts.
2 starts.
Is that it? Wow.
So he needs to drop down the leagues, I think, and do what Mr. Jeffcott did and go and find some form and some confidence. No better place than Truro. But he's out of contract.
He must be out of contract, yeah.
I was going to say, what was his contract?
Yeah, it's up to June the 30th of this year. It's a 3-year deal.
Probably 3 years, yeah.
So,
right, okay.
He's either going to go back to Wellington, isn't he, and with his tail between his legs, or if he likes the country and he's settled down with some roots here and bits and bobs, then maybe a Truro or even a Torquay might be his calling. Who knows?
Yeah, I think exactly. And congratulations to Wrexham as well. That story keeps going and going and going. Incredible.
And Scar both in the squad.
Yeah. Saw him with a beer in his hand in the celebrations with the fans lifting him
up.
They're
both bored of going up from League One now. They've done it so many times.
I mean, he hasn't featured much for Wrexham, has he? But, there's an option, isn't there, potentially for us if we wanted to? No, Gavin. Go on, give you a reason.
You never go back to the girlfriend that's walked out on you. How many times do we do this? It's such an Argyle thing. Oh, let's get Lemiris back. Let's get Carey back. They're 130 years old, but who cares, right? I saw a tweet yesterday. Oh, we get Danny Mayer back too. Yeah.
Oh God, no.
He can't get in the Fleetwood side. Yeah. But we'll bring him back to run on midfield because his legs now are worse than Andre Gray's, who's got the hips of a 73-year-old Alsatian. Give it a rest, guys. Let's go and get some new talent. Yeah, let's look forward, not backwards. So no, not for me. Love Dan Scar, warrior, right? Absolute hero. One of the talisman of that campaign, and I thought he did wonderfully to put two fingers up to a certain balding, bearded man who worked for the FA when he got his sack, and was an essential part, I think, of us staying up last year. But we need to go forward, I think, and if it's not Katic, it needs to be a Katic replacement that comes in and sits alongside him. But I actually think he'll do a job in the Champ if he's still in contract, and if he is to Wrexham. He's going to be there a year, so I imagine he is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So say it as you mean it. Gav always does that on the show. So Donna as well in the comments. Pleggy for me in terms of player of the season. What a warrior he has been through injury and a standout performer. Also very loyal with a new contract. Again, it'd be a shame to, and I hope he doesn't. But he could be another one that obviously could be eyed up by other clubs. Accidental Pilgrim with this shout out. I think we'll talk more on that next Sunday. But Beidou, there's something there. And actually, Andy, the last game, do you think Miron will stick with that squad and say you deserve to go out there and show it, which is what I think he'll do, or will he mix it up and will you see Beidou, will you see Roberts, Izaka obviously has had a few minutes recently, will he mix that lineup next Saturday?
I think Miron will want to win it. Yeah, I think he'll want to go out on a high. So we've got that memento going into League One next season. I can't see him changing much, to be honest, because I thought all the players that played yesterday did really, really well.
So good.
Rudy's saying, let's get Jan Songo back.
Great work.
I would sort of give Beidou a few minutes, maybe. I wouldn't sort of change the side we've got there because we just won a game. We've just done back-to-back wins, so nah.
Yeah. No, Sam in the comments, evening Sam, just obviously living from experience. Never go back because it's never the same the second time around, unfortunately.
The problem is she's been with other men since you've broke up. So it's spoiled. So it's all move on. That's it. Move on.
Yeah, absolutely. We were laughing at Voodoo because the comment I just picked up was, let's get Jan Songo back, and then subsequently said he didn't want to leave. Brilliant. And we've got in here, Pompey Slimy, good luck in League One next year. You really didn't deserve it, but you can blame Rooney. Yeah, fair play to you boys. Touched upon it earlier, you and Oxford coming up and that awful start you had. Remember Jamie on TikTok, shout out to him, talks about Portsmouth on there and joins some of our lives on there, and still joins Andy's championship chat on there. Fair play to you. You've done it, and you can have your second season.
For all the people that want to chop change managers, right? Here's a lesson in sticking by your man. I know they had some horrific injuries, didn't they, Pompey?
Yeah.
But for them not to change manager, which must have been bloody tempting. I imagine there's a lot of the knuckle draggers in Portsmouth. We've got knuckle draggers too, don't worry. Who were going, get him out, we're rubbish, for bottom of the league. What a transformation and what an advert for sticking with consistency when you believe in your management team. Brilliant, Pompey, well done.
Same with Danny Roll on Wednesday. They could have got rid of him, Sheffield Wednesday, Challenger last season. But,
he'll be going to his own record now by the look of the reports, but that's a different story, I suppose.
Yeah, but he's kept them up. He's done better than, you know what I mean? He's
improved again.
Yeah, I'm going to because I'm going to sort of wrap up now, but I said it at the start. Voodoo put out a video, does many a video montage, which are very entertaining to watch. So I thought I'd share as he joins us on our shows regularly. I thought I'd put this video on. I have bleeped out, so to speak, some of the expletives because we are meant to be this family show. Go on.
Even the 7-year-olds will be learning more words than you on this for the terraces on Saturday. You talk about.
I agree now. Wayne Rooney here.
There we go.
I'd like to be announced as head coach at the football club.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
We managed to recruit Wayne. All the expectations change. Okay, he's Wayne Rooney. We'll win the Champions League.
Of course, I'm not going to come out and say we're looking to get Premier League in a year's time.
Who did you have good relationships with? And he said, well, like the groundsman and the girl who did the meals for us. The owner said, what's their names?
Bruno Fernandes, Cole Palmer.
And I don't know what the names are.
Yeah, he reeled them off.
And he reeled them off.
Yeah.
Basically using common data. So our competitive advantage isn't the data, it's what we do with it.
I think I'm not a data freak. I don't like too much data.
I think it's a lovely place. Being out for a couple of meals in nice restaurants, and
I was offered wine, beer, vodka.
Why did you not select him in the squad tonight?
Morgan didn't show up.
I've been, in my opinion, made to be the villain of the situation, and it's made my departure awful. With
Shut up, you him.
Do you cook?
Yes, I'm a very good cook, actually.
I don't think you can actually cook.
What's your signature dish then?
Spaghetti alio olio. It's about how you prepare the garlic.
Yeah.
It cannot burn.
You're cooking in a burnt pan, you
Him.
egg.
A little bit of a cherry tomato, pepperoncino. Perfect.
I was ready up until recently. When he beat Chelsea.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said.
Away from football, away from sports. So, what was the last film that you watched?
He's transparent. Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
Now, I noticed the tendency for this program to get rather silly. Now, I do my best to keep things moving along, but I'm not having things getting silly.
If you want to kill, maim, or just rattle your opposition, maybe you could call the defense.
That one was brilliant.
This is getting too silly.
Quite agree, quite agree. Silly, silly, silly. Right, get on with it. Get on with it.
Sends out the signal.
What
delivers the ball.
And they've scored.
1-0 Plymouth.
Him.
Absolute. I'm not even joking. It sounds like I'm taking the piss.
Silence. Who are we mistaken? But you see, it's not me. It's
penalty given.
my family in your head.
Penalty Plymouth.
He's already had an absolute shambles of a game.
What are we doing? This isn't basketball, bro. Like,
Why have you got your hands up that high, lad? You're not playing volleyball.
They are crying. What's in your zombie, what's in your head? In your head, zombie,
There we go.
Really brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant.
The internet once a week.
Yeah, I think actually the 18 one. Maybe you should send me that one. We'll go all your top 3 video clips. Obviously, we play that one now. Voodoo, send them to me. We'll play them in the final.
We need a points of view style like writing of like the best memes and videos of the year, because I've got memes has done some class ones as well.
Moving on. Moving on. Cheers for that, Voodoo. And as Accidental Pilgrim just said, absolutely, this is hilarious. These videos are not easy to do, our lad. So it takes a bit of time. So fair play. The 18 one though just had me chuckling when that one came out. It's just brilliant. So maybe more of that from Voodoo, and equally we'll share that. So go and give him a follow on Voodoo V21 on X. So that's cool. Ninja Matt saying bravo as well. Rubbish. He's
a big self-publicist, and he Voodoo is rubbish.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. No, it's all good fun. It's all good fun. It's good to share that as well when it's out there. Finally, let me just switch back to here. Let's just see. I don't know. I know Andy's tried to do a bit more. Obviously, this is Block 9. Block9.co.uk website, so give that a check out. We're going to do a lot with this, got some good ideas to sort of bring a bit more content to the site as well, but we do, including a thread for Argyle News, which is currently care of Plymouth Live. No sponsor, but I just took their RSS feed to show on the site. The championship shootout, which is I'm gonna have to do some work now, aren't I, and create a League One. But maybe I'll rig it so any Exeter fans that come on, they try and shoot us. We just don't die and just annoy the hell out of them. But yeah, let's have a quick play. So select your team and let's see who's at the top of the leaderboard. Something tells me Andy's tried to desperately get up there. Let me die
We've got
now.
a new second place. I know that.
There we go. Let me kill myself so I can get to see the board. Josh. There's Martin.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah. So
he's got too much time on his hands, that Mr. Ingham.
Evening, Martin. He is in watching us tonight and has put in the odd comment. So that's that. I'll tell you what. I've not even got remotely close to that. So
I got 4,000 the other day. That's about
Oh, that's brilliant. All good fun. And we do have, of course, on here as well, which takes you to our Block 9 podcast Etsy page. We have all our mugs. Going to do something a bit different with that next season and try and create a few... Andy's got his. A few limited edition. You can see them behind Carl's head as well. Marcus, who is at the moment unable to join us in the lives, but he does come in the comments and we wish him well. Be good to have him back in the future again. Absolutely. But yeah, we'll do something, and I think we'll create a few, like I said, limited edition ones so that you can put them into your mug collection if you so have such a thing. But yeah, there's the website for you. But like I said, lots of ideas incoming. It'll be a busy post season, and we'll let you know in advance, when we'll pick up. Obviously, we'll give ourselves a bit of time off. It'd be nice not to stress to get all this show prepped and ready, as well as the contribution that is made by others to what we do. So yeah, and then we'll start when there's pre-season kicks in and any signings. We'll jump in with that. So tax return season. So Ninja Matt, a couple of comments. If you can rig it so I'm top again, that would be fantastic. I would be top if I could rig it even myself. And tax return season now. Have no time, god damn it. Yeah. So I haven't put it on here. I should have made a page for her, but my wife does bookkeeping, so she's self-employed. If anybody, Ninja Matt, if you need someone to help you with your finances, then my wife can do that. So give me a shout. You will see her on Facebook. She's got a page we just set up properly this weekend. Books to Balance. Joe Edwards is her name. So there's a little shout out for her. So, and Andy, of course, you do your counselling.
Yeah,
So
I got a feeling, Mike, that there's going to be an influx of people heading out of Home Park onto my website and say, I need some counselling because that was rubbish.
Yeah, absolutely. And every now and then he needs some himself, especially supporting Argyle. So yeah, look, good. We'll pick up again Thursday with the live lounge at 8:45. I don't think I've missed anything. Let me just check my notes. No, I think we're pretty good. So yeah, look, Steve, Gavin, Andy, Carl, thanks for that again tonight. Look, it isn't what we were hoping it to be. We were hoping it to go to the wire against Leeds, but look, we can have a bit of fun maybe spoiling their party. There'll be nothing worse than seeing them go around with a trophy. We'll clap and celebrate their success. They've done well to get back up there. So everybody that's joined us tonight, thank you very much. Go to our YouTube channel, go to our X accounts and give us a follow. And obviously on YouTube, subscribe and click the bell so you know what we're up to. We will always post that anyway, as well on our X account. And like I said, a lot more good things to come. But let's look forward to the final game anyway, and then we'll catch you just before that on Thursday. Cheers, everybody.
Take care, guys.